brand new day. Welcome to another video and another piece of insulation falling down. We're working on it. We're working on another video, cleaning some stuff up that I forgot in my last van video. Anyway, it's a brand new day and welcome to another vlog. More importantly, a reading vlog, although we're in our van. Although we have read in our van, so the location in which we're starting this doesn't mean anything about what the vlog is supposed to be. Anyway, we're doing a reading vlog. It is currently February 23rd and February ends the 28th. And so I started a video with going over my February TBR and then reading through it like I did it all in one video. And I got through 4 of the 7 books on my TBR. And I decided to end the video there because like people can only do so much. People only do so much, sit down. And also I can only edit so much. So in addition to not wanting you to sit through like a whole hour video, it probably will still be an hour, sorry. And in addition to me not wanting to condense probably 3 hours of content for one video, which will probably happen, I decided to cut it short, but that means I still have 3 books that I'm determined to read on my TBR. So why not make it a challenge in trying to finish 3 books in 6 days? In 6 days, I want to count March 1st. So I want to say 7 days, but at the end of this video, it will be March 1st. And I will tell you if March 1st around midnight, and I will tell you if I was able to do it. Now, I said I have 3 books on my TBR, but I actually have 1 more book, so 4. And the 4th book is my first ARC. I got my first advanced reader copy. And it's an e-copy of the book, but I'm so excited. So that is actually another book on my TBR to finish in about a week. So this is what I got. This is the first book on the TBR. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Can you see it? This is the cover that I got for the release. I accidentally hooked up with a vampire. Author Jessica Cage. Now, I willy-nilly asked or applied to... I put a form into their giveaway for their ARCs, and I was like, why not? It was also past the due date, because they said, oh, this opportunity ends at this date. It was about a few days past that date, but that was still up. So I was like, why not? Time is irrelevant. Time is a delusion. You know what I'm saying? Like the date had not passed because I get to see it like right now. So I did that and then forgot about it. I forgot about it to the point where I was like just going randomly into my email, and in the social post or promotion post, there was Jessica Cage and the title to the book. And I was like, and it said ARC. And I was like, oh my God. And it was about a week. It's been a week. It was a week since it was sent to my email. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I was like really excited. I was really excited, and I'm still excited because I have an advanced reader copy. And now with an advanced reader copy, I have to read and review by March 1st. I have to read and review it by March 4th. It releases on March 4th. I decided I'm going to do it earlier than that so people can read the reviews before the release date, you know? So I'm going to do that in addition to the 3 other books. Here are the 3 other books. This one is a thriller comedy. My sister is a serial killer. I started it today, and I'm almost done. I didn't know how short it was. I forgot how short it was. It's 226 pages. And I started it this morning, only a few hours, and I'm on page 126. So I'll definitely read this by the end of tonight, which I'm really, really excited for. And maybe I can even sneak in another book, so maybe 5 books. I'm getting ahead of myself. The other 2 books I have on the list is Sula by Toni Morrison. Also a very short book, very historical fiction. Or was it historical literature? I forget what the genre is, but I tried to do my TBR a mix of romance, fantasy, literal fiction, contemporary romance, whatever, and thriller. That's what I did for this February. So this is a contemporary fiction or contemporary literature. And lastly, for my romance, it's Kiss and Spell, another witchy romance from Celestine Martin. So I am thrilled, ecstatic about all of these books. This one, so far, so good. It's such a fast read. It's a thriller, a mystery, but we know who did it. Just other people don't know who did it. And it entwines a murder, a serial killer, sisterhood. It also entwines the idea of marriage and how women are only fit for marriage. And this takes place in Nigeria, so it goes over a lot of their expectations for women and how they court and how they host and how they are as wives and how they are as mistresses, because like anything is anything, and men, and it sees like women through men's eyes, along with like sister rivalry, because there's always a favorite sister, an older sister, a younger sister dynamic, or not always. There is a older sister, younger sister dynamic, and the younger sister is more attractive, their words, than the older sister. So along with the older sister's responsibilities, she also has to deal with the fact that people are urging her to get married, but also the fact that she has to be a role model for her sister. But no one really cares about her. They care more about her sister and her sister's marriage and her sister's well-being. But her sister is going around being a mistress, trying to be a wife, killing people. It's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. So it encompasses so many themes that I'm excited to finish. I'll finish it later tonight and then go over that with you. We're trying to read 4 books in 7 days. I don't think I've ever done that, but these I think are doable unless one of them just knocks me out of the park emotionally and I can't breathe for the next like 3 days. We're gonna figure out if we can do this. Also, my reading pace has definitely sped up more than 30 pages. I'm now at 40 pages per hour, so that's really exciting. It's not that I want to read faster. It's just interesting how I read slow. Anyway, guess where I'm going? To work. I will see you in another day. I'm well, how are you? May I please do the hot honey toast with the Mike's hot honey, and the blackberry amaretto latte, or amaretto?
What size?
Medium, please.
And is whole milk okay for that?
Say that again?
Is whole milk okay for that?
Can I change it if I wanted to?
Yep.
Actually, keep the whole milk. I'm sorry. Just keep it the way it is.
No worries.
That's all for me. We're back in the van. Oh my god, it's been such a good day so far. My hair. I got to try out a new cafe that I've been meaning to go to. I've been wanting to go to this cafe since Sunday. Since Sunday? No, since Saturday. I started this video on a Monday. So, no, on a Sunday. I started it on a Sunday, literally yesterday. It is now Monday. I've been wanting to go to this cafe since Saturday. However, I was too scared. And the only reason why I was scared is because it was a new cafe in a new area. I didn't know the parking situation. I didn't know if the cafe would be good or not, which these are all things that we know when we're going someplace new. But honestly, I was just de-hyping myself because I was just like, I don't know, I had anxiety about it, which I'm realizing that I always have anxiety. It's a thing, but it shouldn't stop me, or I shouldn't allow it to stop me, but it did for a couple of days because I was just like, okay, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna get to this cafe at 7 a.m. because 7 a.m. is usually when I start reading in the mornings. And I would get there at the time I start reading and then like chill or whatever and read and enjoy a new cafe. And I just couldn't do it. But today I did it. I got there around 9 o'clock. I read for about an hour. And it was nice. The hot honey toast that I had was really good. And the latte I had was really good. I don't know why I woke up and thought that all dairy all at once today would be the move. But it is. And so far I'm okay. Might shit myself later. We don't know. But those 2 items that I had, the blueberry amaretto. Blueberry amaretto latte and the hot honey toast with mascarpone cheese, mascarpone, and what else? Ricotta and Mike's hot honey on top. So good. Very good. The book I was reading, oh my god. I actually hooked up with a vampire. So far, so good. Like I said before, it is an arc and I'm reading it to review it. Hopefully I finish it in a couple days, but it's so good. So picture this. Our main character, our main female character, or SMC, female main character, wherever you want to put it. Whitney, she is an art broker, or she was an art broker. She got fired, very canon, very at the beginning of the novel and in the description of the novel. And while she is fresh from being fired from her job, needing and wanting to be there for her friends because her friends are just as successful as she is or was. Her friend Jackie is a writer, and her friend... No. Okay, so Lena is the writer, and then Jackie is a content creator. I'm hoping that I'm saying that right. Right, okay, cool. Lena is the writer, and she has a big event coming up, and Whitney just wants to be there for her. So she doesn't really tell her friends about what happens. And so grieving from that, reeling from that, and then trying to be there for her friends, that's where I'm currently at in the book. And she also meets the vampire. We know he's a vampire. She doesn't know that she's a vampire. And so when they hook up, there's so many like notes to his vampire-esque being that we the reader can understand, but she's just like, oh, this man is like super attentive. It's like he's reading my mind, or he loves biting. And I'm just like, girl, you can't even say read the room because you don't know that your first thought when hooking up with a guy is not, oh, he might be a vampire because he has a biting kink. It's so good. And I wrote down all these notes that are currently on this phone because I'm not recording on my other phone. This is my personal phone. I'm not recording on my other phone because it was dead. I didn't charge it. And my notes are on this phone, so I can't even grab it to like read you the notes that I have. But what I love so much about it also are that the girls banter and like the jokes that they make to each other because, okay, Hold on. Okay, so there's this one lady in there and she has a fuck ass bob, and it's dandruffy. Like what did she say? Hold on, wait. A grating voice that perfectly matched her Parmesan producing scalp. So funny. And then when her friend like also meets this like fucking annoying ass lady, her friend is like, she said, give me the information to that busted Edna. She said, you're going to give me that busted Edna's information so I can find her and kick her ass. And then they go on to say, may her lace never melt in her scalp. And then they go on to say, may her lace never melt and her scalp always itch. Like, I love my people. I love them so much because the kind of jokes that you have between your girls and the way like you like talk about people, like really horrible people, is so funny because who's like, I don't know anyone else who would say that, but like, give me that busted Edna's information because like I get it and I knew it, and it's so funny. I was cracking up. I'm only like 3 chapters in. I'm like 10% of the way done. Yeah, okay, so I'm 12% of the way done. It literally just started. I said this before in a vlog. I can't necessarily focus and lock in while reading when I'm in public, but I like the idea of reading in public. I have focus on the book, but my ears are always picking up other people's conversations, and it's just what it is because they're loud as fuck. But also, it's a public place. So I think their voices are the proper volume. It's just that I'm trying to lock in. Anyway, I didn't read that much or lock in that much in the hour or so that I was there because people just were in their own conversations and my ear was also in their conversations. But the book itself, I also had my eyes locked to, and it was so, it's been so good. Like, I'm enjoying this book so much. I cannot wait to review it. Like, if I stop here, it's 5 stars. Actually, if I stop here, 4 stars. So good. And because I'm starting this, you know that I already finished My Sister, the Serial Killer. I took pictures of quotes from here that are on that vote. It's on this vote. I can't even, our main character, Kared, her sister, Eula, is a serial killer. She has killed 3 men, canon, you know this. She has killed 3 men, and every time the first time she did it, scary. Second time, okay. Third time, girl. So Kared always helps her sister clean up the mess and hide the body. I told you this before, but it talks about sisterhood and being like, and the older sister versus the younger sister dynamic. And older sisters always look out for the younger sisters. And in this thriller comedy, it's only expected that the older sister will continuously help the younger sister clean up her mess, cover her ass, and just try the best for her. Then is there the idea of being conventionally attractive, which Kared's sister Eula is. Everyone loves her. She is never without someone trying to court her, bring her flowers. Kared isn't seen as attractive, and so in addition to her sister being a serial killer and she's trying to help her out, she's also dealing with some insecurities, but also frustrations because, like, Ayoola, chill out. Like, she has no wherewithal that being, killing people is bad. Like, to the point where, like, she killed a man and she was, like, going to post a cutesy video on Instagram or Snapchat, and Coretta's just like, girl, you're supposed to be grieving. What are you doing? And that's, like, the dynamic. There's no concern from Ayoola from killing all these people, but Corette, she remembers every face, every body. She looks them up after they're dead to just see who they were as people, and she even questions whether or not Ayoola is doing this out of self-defense, because every single time it happens, Ayoola says that, oh, they tried to attack me, they tried to come after me, whatever. And so we go through that, and then we go through the dynamic of women and needing to be married off. Again, this takes place in Nigeria, where I believe marriage is, where I assume from this book and no other knowledge of anything else, that marriage is a big thing. Being married off is a huge thing, and that is through and through this book. And it also talks about the false and disgusting manner of men, because Ayoola's under the impression, well, Ayoola tells Corette that, like, these men only want looks, they don't want anything else. Corette is just like, I don't think that's it. I think you're just killing just to kill. But I think every time Ayoola kills someone, it's because they asked her to marry them because they asked her to marry them within like a month or two, because all they want is to capture the beauty of Ayoola. And it goes on to where Ayoola captures the eye of Corette's crush, who is a doctor at the hospital that Corette works at because she's a nurse. And Ayoola's just like, do you really think that this guy that you like or are in love with would like you or kind of like want to be with you? He's literally only with me for looks. He's not that deep. You should just get over him. Mind you, she's still like allowing this man to court her, even though she knows that her sister loves him. And I think she's doing it to prove to her sister that, okay, this man isn't something that you would want. Look at this. And Coretta's like, no, you're gonna kill him. I love him. Da 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 da. And she tries to warn him as well, and tries to tell Ayoola that just don't. And there was a part in here, and then Ayoola and the doctor, Tad, go on to date for a month. They go on a date for a month, and after that month, he goes to Corette and shows her a ring that he's going to give her sister, and says, I'm going to ask your sister to marry you. And Corette goes to ask, you've only known her a month. She goes further to ask, what do you like about her? And this is the conversation that they have. You want to propose to Ayoola? I state so we are all on the same page. Yes. Do you think she'll say yes? Finally, a question I don't know the answer to. I blink back hot tears and I clear my throat. Isn't this too soon? When you know, you know. You'll understand one day, Corette, when you're in love. I surprise myself by laughing. It starts off as a gasp, then a giggle, then uncomfortable tear-jerking laughter. Tad is staring at me, but I can't stop. When I finally calm down, he asks, what's so funny? Tad, what do you like about my sister? Everything. But if you had to be specific, well, she's really special. Okay, but what makes her special? She is just so, she's beautiful and perfect. I've never wanted to be with someone this much. I rub my forehead with my fingers. He fails to point out the fact that she laughs at the silliest things and never holds a grudge. He hasn't mentioned how quick she is to cheat at games, or that she can hem-stitch a skirt without even looking at her fingers. He doesn't know her best features or her darkest secrets. He doesn't seem to care. Put the ring away, Tad. What? She tells him no. And then he goes on to insult her and tell her that you just don't want your sister to be happy. You don't understand. If you were her, you would understand. If you were me, you would understand. If you were ever in love, you would understand. And like, I think that's the precipice of like the entire book, with themes of sisterhood, of family dynamics, and an abusive father, with other ideas of being a woman. That is like the cusp of this book, because it's just like, you can be pretty, you can be pretty, beautiful, have a great body, and that's all that matters, because that's all that men see. Because she's literally a serial killer. And maybe if you took some time out to realize some things about her, you would also understand that she's a serial killer. And like, that's it. Like, men don't care your deep, darkest secrets. They just care to be like candy on their arm. In this case, I know that there are men who aren't like that, but like, in this case, it was comical, it was thrilling, it was beautiful, it was disturbing at times and heart-wrenching at other times when it comes to talking about abuse and like the physical disciplining of children. This was a 226 page book and it packed so much into it, and the author Oyekan Braithwaite, or Braithwaite, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, just did a beautiful job of putting all that she put in here. So good. I rated it, I want to say a 3 out of 5 stars. I think I would put 3.75. I enjoyed this book very, 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 very much. I'm currently parked at the library and I'm going to go in and read some more before I have to go to work. So I'm hoping I get further into I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire, and life is going to be great. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm breaking the fourth wall. This was supposed to be B-roll, but like, the main character is finally finding that like Domino, the main guy character, is a vampire. Very much canon, because the whole book is I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire. And she has a cat, like a Maine Coon, very, very big. And we're at the part where like she's realizing that he's a vampire. And her cat doesn't like him, so the cat's attacking him while she's like having this realization that this is a vampire. And she says, I could have helped, but I didn't. This man knew he wasn't human and still let me fuck him. Just like who says that? Like, who writes that? But it makes so much sense, because I would have said that too. Like, no, you knew you were a vampire. You knew you couldn't tell someone that you were a vampire. Ooh. You cannot see me. That a little bit better? Awesome. Cool. Hi. Oh my god, I sat down. I want to show you guys my outfit. I feel so like cozy, bookish, girlish. Hold on. Here's my outfit. And then this is the tree that almost fell on our baby over here. Hold on, let me show you. You see that? You see that? This was longer, and it could have fallen on our baby, and that would have been tragic. Oh my god, I'm stuck. I'm always stuck to these hooks over here. Oh my god. Okay, now that's done. I'm parked at my mom's apartment, and I'm always parked on an angle, and so I'm sloped down this way with the front of my van this way. So this isn't the best. Also, this is falling apart. If you watch my other vlog, you know that I need to get some duct tape and redo this, because the insulation that I put on there was held up by duct tape that just didn't hold up, or is not holding up anymore. But it's fine. It looks like it's a background that I did this on purpose, so I could have told you nothing. Today has been such a good day. I'm off today. It is Tuesday, and I feel amazing. I feel great. But I didn't get to read as much of I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire yesterday after I vlogged, because we had a family emergency, but it's okay now. So this morning I woke up at 5 a.m. to read, and it was so good. I got through half the book, and so I'm hoping to get through half the book. I'm hoping to get through half the book for the rest of the day, and I'll be done 2 of the 4 books. I was telling my coworker, I was just like, I sought out for 4, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself, and I might throw another one in there. I don't know. I have 170 more pages to go in I Accidentally Hooked Up with a Vampire, and it's so good. It's so good because it's so nonsensical. It's basically if you and your girls just chilling, having a day, and one day you meet a vampire, and you and your girls have to grapple with vampires being real. You have to grapple with vampires and other unworldly creatures being real. Then you have to grapple with yourself being not yourself. Look, I talked a little bit about it yesterday, but like so far I'm like genuinely enjoying this book. So I started reading today at around 5 I want to say 5:30, 5:45. I got through half the book. I hit the halfway mark around 9:45, so it took me 4 hours to get up to there. It's fine. Since I'm using Kindle Unlimited on my Amazon Fire tablet, it's just now assessing my reading speed. So after I finished this, which again, I was like not half dead at 5 a.m., but pretty much like still tired and like dozing off between parts. Like something will strike a thought in my brain, and then I would think about that thought and then doze off because I'm tired. And that's pretty much how I get to sleep every day, is maladaptive daydreaming. And so in that 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. time frame is when I'm at my most vulnerable for maladaptive daydreaming. And to bring like a novel like this into the mix, but I did pay attention. That's not to say that I have not paid attention. I have. It's just, it's been a slower pace in the morning, but that's okay. It's currently, I believe, 2 p.m. It feels beautiful outside, and so instead of staying inside for the rest of the day, I decided to come out here in my van and read. I got snacks, Takis, and because we love a little balance around here, we got an Olipop. We got the orange squeeze. Because gut health. Is that a bug already trying to fly into my van? I thought you guys all were dead. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure I saw a bee. And it ain't the time nor the place to see a bee right now. It was warm for one day, and one of them, I think, hatched early or something. I don't know. It is so bright, I can't see myself. Oh, should I just trust that we can see each other, or you can see me? Y'all, it's a brand new day. And I have so many... The way I started my day today has been crazy. I think being neck deep in a book every day is bad for my mental health, because the way I'm so groggy... Also, I get my period in 4 days. You know, let's not blame the book. Let's blame being a woman. So today I woke up and I wanted... Ooh, it's stuck. And I wanted to do cute outfit stuff because it's 50 degrees outside. It's 50 degrees. No, it's 53 degrees, but it feels 50. So 50. And I'm so excited. And so I have... Ooh, hold on. Not being a little hussy. I have... Still there. I have on my... I have on a skirt with no tights. This, like, dress that I made up. Oh, my God. A dress that I made... like a top basically, and then this cover, and this is one of my favorite outfits to wear of all time. It's what people call my uniform when it's warm out, not when it's cold out. And I forgot to jewelerize. I have no earrings, I have no rings, I feel completely naked. And halfway through, when I pulled my ear while I was singing, I was like, no, I feel so naked. I contemplated going back home. I decided that this is the day we're gonna have today. I do like this outfit. I love my hair. I just wish I had jewelry, and I'm gonna think about that all day. I know I am. I said it's okay, but is it ever really okay when I say it's okay? I say okay, but I'm overthinking for the day. I finished the book. I accidentally hooked up with a vampire, and it was good. Off the bat, rated it 4 stars. I left the book around 80% yesterday, and I finished it this morning unrecorded. I did plan on finishing it yesterday, and then reading Sula next, but it felt like I was just really pushing myself. I damn near read the entire day. I can do other things and have other hobbies or do other stuff, but I can do other things and have other hobbies besides reading. And if I force myself to read all the time because of a silly goal that I put for myself, I will turn on it like strawberries one day after you bring it home from the grocery store. So I let myself chill. I chilled, woke up this morning, read the rest of it. So good. I did stop at a part where it was getting ridiculous, like literally ridiculous. Like some things just happened. I'm just like, this is really happening. But here's the thing. The book is about our main character, Whitney, who hooks up accidentally with a vampire, and then the world of supernatural creatures is opened up to her. She also finds out that she is special by some way, and so the reader, we find it out. I'm not gonna tell you because that's a spoiler. We find that out, and then so her world, where her old world, where she was an art broker, she just signed a mortgage to a condo, she had big girl dreams. She is now thrusted into this world of fantasy and supernatural creatures, and a power that she didn't even know that she held. As she realizes how really supernatural things are and how really strange that side of the world is, where vampires and monsters and werewolves and so on and so forth exist, she's like, oh my freaking God, this is too much. And as the reader, I felt the same way, because they just kept going on. Things kept happening. I was just like, girl, I need a break too. So I did stop the book at a part where it was getting pretty wild, and I was able to dive right back into that in the morning, which was like perfectly fine. And it was so good. I can't wait to write my review on it. I am actually 4 book reviews behind. I need to do 4 reviews. Okay, chill. I don't need to do four reviews, like word reviews. I don't need to. I want to, and I'm desperately excited to do so. I'm just a little bit behind. So I want to write them. I just don't know when to write. Oh, I'll write them tonight. I don't read at night. I kind of just dilly-dally until I fall asleep. So we're going to dilly-dally and write some reviews. Although my reviews, I'll be like, oh, it's all in here. It'll take me 30 minutes per review to write it out into words. I could barely bring out here. You think I'm going to bring out here to out here? Absolutely not. Not in a quickened way at that. So it'll take me a while to write 4 reviews and put all my thoughts into one, but I'm gonna do that tonight. And then we have 2 more books to read. We have Sula by Toni Morrison, and we have Kiss and Spell. Ooh. We have Sula by Toni Morrison and Kiss and Spell by Celestine Martin. Let's go. This kind of overwhelms me, because I already came out of a magical world that was a lot, and I don't know if I'm ready to dive back into that. This is only 174 pages, so this is going to be done in one day. This, however, is more magic and more like, what the fuck is going on? And I don't know if I am ready to dive into another one after what I accidentally hooked up with a vampire was. So I've been really thinking about this one. If I finish it, cool. If I don't, also cool. But I spent this morning trying to figure out, because these are done. In my head, they're already done. I spent this morning, after finishing the book, I spent this morning trying to figure out my March TBR, and I didn't think it was gonna be that difficult. But there's still so many books that I have from 26 books from Black Authors video. I still have all those books checked out, minus the ones that I finished in the last reading vlog and this reading vlog. And so I was looking through them, and I got super excited. And I did also have rollover books that didn't go with that theme that I also want to read. And so I went back, I looked at what I have, I picked out a list. Then I went back to the list and I picked out different books. And so I'm really excited to state my March TBR. At this moment, I don't do any like TBR fun things, like pick my TBR with me, have a TBR jar, because I know exactly the stories that I want to read and the mix in which I want to read them in. And so having a jar or some other separate system from me tell me what I want to read will probably end badly. For I don't know who, I just feel like it would end badly, because it feels like something's telling me what to do, and I don't want to be told what to do or what to read. I want to tell myself what to read. If you hear the beeping, that's just trash. Bye bye. So with that being said, I'm really excited for March TBR. Oh, I can't wait to read those stories. I'm so excited. I'm actually afraid that the TBR is too aggressive, and I, with travel plans, won't be able to do it and feel shame. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but I'm gonna fit it in. I'm gonna make sure I do my utmost to finish the list of books that I have. Ugh. Anyway, I'm going into work. I'll see you later. It's been more than a few days since I finished Sula. It's been a few days since I finished on March 1st. So I got to the end of the week that I wanted to try to read 4 books. I only read 3, and that is fine. To finish 3 books in a week, I think is like pretty fucking cool. That means I finished 7 books this month, which is 3 more than last month, and I'm very happy about it. But let me tell you about this book right here. I am so tired of books under 200 pages destroying me emotionally. I knew I was in for a wild ride. Like, I knew Toni Morrison's writing was beautiful and poetic, but the way she writes, it gives the reader a different kind of work to do when like delving into the story. Like, instead of simply saying the character was sad, Toni Morrison is able to explain the environment and all senses in which the person was sad, from the top of their head to the bottom of their foot, to the door creak in the room that they're currently sitting on, to the wind blowing outside in the city or hometown that they're in. It took me a while to grasp that kind of detailed writing. And so I needed to take breaks because it was just like so moving. I'm not even like trying to kiss ass just because I know Toni Morrison is just a great writer. It's just that I wasn't aware of how great she really was. And also, going into this book, it did explain the book being about 2 women, Nell and Sula, both best friends living in a town called The Bottom in Medallion, Ohio. And it goes to, in the description that I read at the beginning, goes on to explain how both of these women's lives are changed from girlhood to womanhood, but also how the town has changed and how things are in the developing town that is The Bottom of Medallion, Ohio. Though Nell and Sula were the main characters, it didn't just start with them and end with them. They were not blips in the story, but they were integral to the story just to drive home what I have gathered from reading what Toni Morrison wanted to say. Sula is the kind of woman who leaves the hometown, does different things, comes back a different woman. Whereas Nell, although they were the same when they were younger, she decided to stay, get married, have kids in that town, and then accommodate to that town and how they behave. So when Sula comes back, it's as if everyone used her as the reasoning for valuing a life they hate. By that, I'm just gonna read what I wrote in Goodreads and then go further to explain it, because I don't know how else I could explain it. Hold on. So I started the review with, "I'm so tired of books under 200 pages, emotionally destroying me." Sula was the yin to the yang of a Black community developing in the 1920s. Everyone, no matter what life they had, needed to other someone else to assist in finding value in the life they chose. Yes, Sula refused to have the life of the people living in the bottom, be that marriage, kids, a hardworking job, a routine of homemaking, etc. But she still did one way or the other. Yes, people living in the bottom judged Sula for her actions and perspective on the world and herself, but they were still like her in one way or the other. And I use one of the quotes from the synopsis, like summary of the book, and it was, "Even more than they feared Sula, their pariah, they needed her," and I put, in addition, and in vice versa. And it's because Sula knew what life she didn't want, and she crafted the life that she did want because she viewed the other people's lives at the bottom of being something that she didn't want, right? People in the bottom, living in the bottom, looked at Sula's life as something that they don't want either. And so they coveted all the things that they wanted to in the life that they chose because they didn't want to end up like Sula or be like Sula. For example, they thought of her as an evil woman because she put her grandmother in a old folks home, which is something that you just don't do in their community. It is without saying that you should take care of your elders, but Sula didn't do that. So when she put her grandma in the old folks home, it made people take better care of the elders around them. When Sula was seen hurting someone or hurting a child, she didn't, but the perspective was that she hurt a child, everyone started treating their children better. They stopped spanking their children. They made sure that they were well fed, even more so. They made sure that they went to doctor's appointments more so. They did their homework and, all that, just more so because they saw Sula, someone they thought was evil and didn't want to be like. They saw her doing that, like hurting their children. So they decided to be opposite of her. But they weren't doing that. They weren't doing any of that before she came back to town. And then Sula, although, there's something that happens in the book that I won't say because it spoils the plot tremendously. But Sula, she's still living in that town, but she's more like, that's not me. I am me. I live for myself. But you're still in that town. You're not really doing any. Oh, there's a blue robin or a blue bird. Should I look up what it is? Hold on, wait. Like what it means. Anyway, the blue bird has many spiritual meanings, including hope, joy, and renewal. Its bright blue feathers often connected to the sky and can symbolize inspiration and guidance from a higher power. Anyway, I just like looking up cute things like that. Anyway, but Sula, although she made it a point to say that she's not anything like the people in the bottom, she is. And so I think Toni Morrison wanted to drive home is that we need each other to help each other figure out what life we want. The life that I knew going into this that I would feel more like Sula. Although I will say, she did break up some homes because of her scandalous behavior. That's not me. So I'm not like her, but I feel like her in the way that I see how life is for the people around me, or how life could be for me if I make different choices, but I don't want that. However, because of them living that life, I know what I don't want. And because of me living the life that I want, they look at that. People may look at my choices, whether it be living in a van, not having a baby, not getting married at 30, and think, oh, I could never be like her. Oh, she's one of those wild women. Oh, she's one of those women you can't be because I have that life, people can also look at it as othering and be like, I value these things in my life because I don't want that life. I think that's what that means. And then you add in more Black culture, more remedies, more melodies, more laughter, more pain. The hardships that Black people had to suffer coming home from war and still not being valued as an American citizen. Black women not being valued as American citizens, women in general, but this pointed to Black women and their struggles finding a job, keeping a man, having a man settle or whatever and not cheat on you. I don't know how she did it, but 174 pages felt like an entire 300-page novel. And that's what I love. I love when writing doesn't have to be explained to me. And it's poetic and it's short and it's impactful. And this was beautiful. I rated it 4 stars back then. So I rated it 4 stars because it was just so beautiful. It made me cry only because it made me think about death. It made me think about rebirth. It made me think about my own life and my own struggles. And then seeing how the story plays out for Nell and for Sula just made me think I relate to Sula. But if I relate to her, does that mean that everything I'm doing is in vain? Or does that mean that everything I'm doing is just in angst or rebellion and not true to me? I don't know. But it made me realize a lot of things in my own life and it usually does. I usually don't read a book and get and step away from it unscarred or unreflective of something in my own life. Then also different things happen in the book that are so outrageous and people in the book are so evil, but for them to look at Sula and say you're evil because you don't want this life, although they've done some truly heinous things in this book, was ridiculous. So again, it goes back to the theme of everyone is like everyone else, but we need those other people to make us value certain things and to confirm the choices that we make in our life. As per usual, this review is all over the place, but I rated it 4 stars. Really loved it. I cannot wait to read more. And I'm not quite sure what I'll read next from her, but I'm excited to do so. With that being said, I read 3 books With that being said, I'm ending the vlog here. So we read 3 books. We read My Sister the Serial Killer. I accidentally hooked up with a vampire, and Sula by Toni Morrison. So a thriller, satire, fantasy romance kind of thing, and then kind of historical literature. And I loved it so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you read any of this or hope to read hope to read any of it in the future, please comment down below. I love you. I am grateful for you, and I will see you in the next story. Bye.